All right, family, we are live. Welcome to another show. It is your man BMT. We are in the building. Hope everybody is doing well. Before we get the show started, guys, let me know if the stream is coming through loud and clear. All right, we got a lot to talk about this evening. A lot to talk about this evening. It might not be a long show. We might do a panel. It depends on the flow of the show. But welcome this evening, man. I know it's probably late night, most of you guys, because most of my guys are on the East Coast. So, tap in for the live. Got a lot of good information for you guys in this live. Welcome to the show once again. All right, let me see who's on the comment section, and we can get this party rolling. Shout out to my man Kenny Peebles. He's in the building. Says, "Good evening, sir. You are a little late." Yeah, I'm running a little late, but we in here. Had a few technical difficulties, man. I don't know why StreamYard always switching some stuff up, but we in here. Do me a favor before we get the show started. Hit one. Let me know if the stream is coming through loud and clear. Is it Borgie? All right. Let me know if it's coming through loud and clear, family, so we can go ahead and get this show started. Press 1. And do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button as well when you come on in the room. We in here, man. What you guys got going on this late night evening? Late night. There's no more NFL, no more football. All right, so tap on in, man. Get off on OnlyFans and tap on in with your guy, with your bro. We got a lot to talk about today, man. Let's see here. Like I say, guys, hit one in the comment section if I'm coming through loud and clear. I'm not seeing no comments right now. All right, let me check on the other side. Okay, I think I'm coming through pretty loud and clear. Or is it Borgie? All right, I got a good one in there. What's up, CC92? What's good? Okay, I got another one. All right, we flowing. Man, you guys know I just left Cambodia. I was in Cambodia for about a week and a half. All right, had a great time out there in Cambodia, man. I know I try to keep Cambodia under wraps, but I enjoy Cambodia. It's not Thailand. It doesn't have the infrastructure that Thailand has. It's not set up nowhere near like Thailand or Pattaya or Bangkok or anything like that. But I always have a good time when I take a trip out there to Cambodia, man. Shout out to my man Esme MIA as well. We dropped an interview. Did it pretty good. I think it's almost at 10K right now. If you haven't checked out that interview, I'm gonna play a little clip. All right. Really good interview. Let me. Matter of fact, let me set this up real quick. Let me play this interview. Today, my man Esme MIA. All right, hold on. There we go. So I'm gonna play the whole entire thing. I just want you guys to kind of get a vibe for Cambodia. Like I said, it's not for everybody. It kind of reminds me of Rio a little bit, just on how, like the way the infrastructure is, how it's set up, everything. But like I said, I always enjoy myself in Cambodia, man. All right, so let me go ahead and play a little bit of the video. And a lot of people thought that the thumbnail, because the thumbnail had a Cambodian woman on it, was clickbait, but actually she's actually in the video. But it's like for a quick little segue in the video. Here we go. All right, look who I have here today. My man Esme MIA in the building.
We back, baby.
Where we at? Okay, we borging a little bit. I don't know what the hell is going on with this internet out here today. I got like super fast internet. Oh, let me let it catch up. All right, somebody said, I heard Cambodia is a bit sketchy, but I'll still visit. I plan to visit in November, but I still believe Thailand's smaller cities are better than Cambodia. Smaller cities? What do you mean by smaller cities? Or in Vietnam and Malaysia is also slept on. I'm going to be going to Malaysia probably in the next couple of months. But what do you mean by the smaller cities? Because, I took a 10-hour ride to my wife's hometown, and some of them small cities really ain't got too much going on. So, you might catch a nice little beauty out there in the cut or something in the countryside, but, yeah, I didn't see too much going on in those smaller cities. So what do you mean by those smaller cities? Because I don't think Chiang Mai or Phuket is necessarily a smaller city. Yeah, Cambodia. I've heard a few things about Cambodia. You got to be a little bit more careful, a little bit more mindful out there in Cambodia. It's not quite as, I guess you could say, safe as Thailand in certain cases. But like I said, man, I enjoy myself when I go to Cambodia, bro. Let me see if it's playing a little bit now. Hold on, let me see if it's playing better now.
My sixth trip and my fifth trip in 6 months.
Your fifth trip in 6 months to Cambodia.
I don't know why it's borging out. Damn StreamYard, man. Hold on, I just want to play this clip. We got 34 in the room, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button for your guy. Somebody says Thailand is tightened up on the visas. They're tired of the bums. Yes and no. Yes and no. CC92. Yes and no.
Cambodia, baby.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, why Cambodia? Not over Thailand, but why Cambodia?
I would say over Thailand when I want my peace and quiet, man. It's laid back.
Right.
Just chilling on the side of the street. Nobody's bothering us. I'm not running to no begging, no promotion. It's just easy going, man. Good weather, good people, good food, everything, man. It's perfect.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. A lot of people like like Thailand's the vibe right now. That's like everybody know about Thailand right now, but very very few people know about Cambodia and Phnom Penh and all that.
Right. False alarm. They don't get the shit.
You know what, man? I'm gonna have to do something about this streaming service because I don't think it's the internet. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Yeah, it's not the. I don't know why it's. Hold on. What's my shit freezing like this? All right, we back. We back. Let me see if I can pull that up. Let me see if I pull it up again. Hold on 1 second, family.
All right, look who I have here today. My man Esme MIA in the building.
We back, baby.
Where we at, bro?
Hey, man, the world famous Phnom Penh, Cambodia.
We
My sixth trip and my fifth trip in 6 months.
Your fifth trip in 6 months to Cambodia.
Cambodia, baby.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, why Cambodia? Not over Thailand, but why Cambodia?
I would say over Thailand when I want my peace and quiet, man. It's laid back.
Right.
Just chilling on the side of the street. Nobody's bothering us. I'm not running to no begging, no promotion. It's just easy going, man. Good weather, good people, good food, everything, man. It's perfect.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. A lot of people like be.
Okay. Let me see something. You know what? Let me just. Like I said, guys, if you guys want to check out the full interview, damn StreamYard. Hold on. Bruh. All right, guys, we are back. Apologies, man. I guess StreamYard is acting up today as far as replaying videos, but it's all good. We still got the show that we have to get to regardless. Let me catch up on some of these comments, and we will get right back to the show. Let me pull some things up on the screen again. Once again, hold on. Let me get some of this stuff up here. Let me see what we have. All right. Interesting article that we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about in a moment. We'll get to this. And I also want to cover another story. Make sure I'm covering the right screen. Hold on. Let me set this up. I got to set the whole show up again. Hold on. Where's that? Where's the article at? Let me make sure I don't show the west side. Yeah, we're going to get this article in a minute. It's not really an article. It's more like a post. All right. Little man OG, you late to the party, man. That was over a month ago, maybe almost 2 months ago, bro. What up, Kevin Romes? My man said, as Westerners, we need a basis, consistent power, proper plumbing, and fast internet. Thailand's second-tier cities like Kokon, I'm not even trying to pronounce the other one, provide that 1010. Cambodia is still early entry. The internet in Cambodia is pretty sketchy. I would definitely say that. But at the same time, Cambodia just got a new airport. It's called Techno Airport. It's very nice. I would love to, I think I got a little video of it, but I don't want to order the stream again. Brand new airport. I'm talking about probably one of the nicest airports. You don't think you was in Dubai or something. So Phnom Penh, it's on the come up. It's definitely on the come up. The airport is longer. It's actually further than the old airport. So the Phnom Penh airport was like 20 minutes away from everything. This new airport is about an hour away, but I see they're building a lot of stuff on the way to the main city, to the Walker Street and Basak Street and all that good stuff. So it's coming. And they got internet. They got 5G internet signs all over Phnom Penh right now. So I believe they're working on the infrastructure. All right. So if you're one of them guys that is tired of Colombia, shout out to my man Jay Clyde. All right. You tired of Brazil? I got boots on the ground in Brazil right now. My man is saying the Airbnbs are $1,000 for a shack apartment in Centro, mind you, in Rio right now. And then you got Copacabana, they charging $2,000 a month right now to stay in Copacabana monthly. So if you want maybe something on the come up, a little bit more laid back, if you want to kind of get there before the crowd gets there and the inflation comes, I think Phnom Penh is a good place to go visit. Me personally, I enjoy myself when I'm out there. That's all I was saying. If you want more content, like where to go and everything, you can always download the passport. That my man just Clyde. Hold on. I want to pull something up real quick. Hold on. Where's that article at? And I want your guys' opinions. I'm going to read this article. Where's that article at? This was interesting. This was kind of interesting right here. All right. And I want the chat's opinion on this. I want to check before we get to this, the topic at hand. I just want your guys' opinion. All right. Here we go. Now, it said British woman who reported aid in Hong Kong found guilty of blackmail and perverting justice. Now, I've been following this young lady because she has a nice little size TikTok page. I've been kind of following her since I heard about this maybe a couple of months ago. All right, and they just made a verdict. Now, it was some things I found to be a little suspicious because every time you see, and she's British, by the way, so she's not Black American or anything like that. But when you see a sister going through something, you kind of like, okay, are they kind of railroader? But let's look at some of the facts because in the United States, that's one of the things that a lot of men, and this kind of segue into the show, is the justice system when it comes in concerns of accusations by women in the United States. In general, a woman can accuse you of something and it not be true, and she doesn't have to have a lot of evidence for you to get railroaded. We've seen men go to prison. We've seen men, get sued. All right. We've seen men, careers end, all types of lawsuits, losing millions of dollars at hand in the United States. All right, because of that matriarchal matrix system of she's always right, no matter what. Okay, and we know in a lot of cases that's not true. Overseas is much different. Okay, especially in a patriarchal society. So I just want to preface that before I get to the article I had. Once again, it says British woman who reported aid in Hong Kong found guilty of blackmail and reported justice. This is a sister. All right, this is her right here. It says the 25-year-old was accused of demanding, all right, 100,000, all right, Hong Kong $1 million, so about 100,000, I say U.S., from a man and falsifying a report to authorities that she was raped. All right, so I'm just going to kind of like bullet point the article here. So they actually met in Thailand. They met in Thailand, okay, because she was in Thailand. They met in Thailand, and they basically, I guess they went to, his homeland country. They went to Hong Kong, and it pretty much is evidence of them pretty much dating. This is an Asian guy she's dating, by the way. Okay, and when you're dating, sometimes you're gonna do the do. All right, they're gonna do the do, and it seems like once they did it, and we don't know, we wasn't there. I'm not gonna say that she's lying about what she says happened, but at the same time, it's a lot of suspicious stuff. Like after the situation of them, doing whatever. She started demanding more and more money. He had already gave her $5,000. All right. He already gave her $5,000, paid for a hotel stay. All right. He was saying that they didn't even have any intercourse as far as having sex. He said he performed oral on her, and that was it. Okay. Now, let me just read a little bit of this. So when handed down the verdict, the judge said she was not going to read it out. It was 300 pages of the verdict. So the verdict comes more than 2 years after Rose filed a police report saying she was gaped by a man in the mid-levels apartment during the early hours of February 2024. So this is a while ago. 3 days later, police arrested a man known as Casey's ex on suspicion of he cannot be named for legal reasons, yada, yada, yada. Police arrested Rose 2 days later on suspicion of blackmail, and she was subsequently charged with allegedly demanding a payment of $100,000 US from the man. All right. So she's facing up to 7 years in jail. All right, that's her right there. All right. And I think she did a fundraiser because, of course, she's been sitting in Hong Kong for a couple of years. She wasn't able to work or anything like that, so she had a GoFundMe going. And the guy was a British banker in Hong Kong, basically. They met in Thailand, like I said, in 2023, and stayed in contact after that. He said the British banker bought her a ticket to Hong Kong and invited her to stay at his home. All right. She said after they finished work, or after he finished work, they went to Happy Valley, some stuff like that. Some, went out basically. And she said she's claiming that he sodomized her and ate her that night. Like I said, we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. But, I mean, he's flying you out. He's giving you money. All right, so the prosecution says that they kissed and he performed oral sex on her. But he told her he did not want to have intercourse. He said the next day, according to WhatsApp conversations, she said that she wanted to move into a hotel and asked if the flight he bought her could be changed. All right, she said she claimed that he raped her or ate her. All right, he denied the accusation. And then she started asking for money. So he offered her $5,000 to offer a hotel, medical expenses, and to stay in Hong Kong. And he was about to send her another $5,000, but for whatever reason, the bank blocked it. It's difficult to send money, overseas. Right. And then she started demanding $100,000. Now, you guys know in the USA, in the United States, that, he would be in trouble, more or less. All right. But it seemed like, when she started demanding money, things got confusing. All right. And it backfired on her. And they considered it to be blackmail. NBA says she's 100% going to jail. I've noticed in Asia, especially China, the courts tend to favor the men. Plus, those British girls bring that same Western energy. They can be wild. It's a different game. Okay. So that's like a big story that's going on kind of, out here. Like I said before, the guy was trying to send her, he gave her 5. He tried to send her 5 more, 10,000. Then she asked for $100K. Then she claimed she got 8. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. But more or less, they did some investigations. They read WhatsApp messages, and they just didn't throw the guy under the bus. Looks like she might be spending some time in jail. Okay. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. In my opinion, she tried to shake the guy down. She probably wasn't even trying to the guy. She tried to shake him down. She asked for $100,000 US. She assumed that he was a rich guy. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. And she was trying to get him. She was trying to play the American extortion game. And she lost miserably. All right. I agree. She said she overplayed her hand and got greedy. Yeah, I agree. I agree. She got a little greedy on that. No doubt. All right. She was basically trying to blackmail him. You know how some of these folks do. They try to blackmail you. They put charges on you, and if you want the charges drop, the same thing we see women doing in America all the time. All right. Okay. Read some of the comments. So let's see what else you got to say. So she had a GoFundMe, all right, for legal courses, legal expenses. I mean, it was just so much evidence. All right, she was staying in his house. She was saying he owed him. She only paid 10% of what he owed. Yeah, she was trying to shake him down, man. That's what it looks like to me. We don't know, like I said, we don't know exactly what happened in that room. All right, whether it's consensual. He said it was. He said he did, perform oral on her, and that was it. She was trying. I mean, it's just too much evidence. She was definitely trying to shake him down. All right. She's definitely trying to shake him down. So I want to get to this article, and some of you guys, y'all be asking too much personal shit. Damn, that's all type of personal shit on the internet. Let me get this article right here. It's not really an article; it's more so a post. All right. It says, we've been over for a minute too. According to U.S. Census data, more than 1.2 million American men are married to foreign-born wives, reflecting how global travel, immigration, and online communication have expanded the dating pool beyond national borders. I called this years ago. Going back and forth with the dating coaches. All right. I always said that it was a solution. All right. And international travel becomes easier, and digital platforms connect people across cultures. Many relationships now begin through travel, work abroad, social media, or international dating platforms. This is true. All right. Cross-cultural marriages often bring different perspectives on family, excuse me, values and traditions, which can strengthen relationships, but also require deeper communications and understanding. The trend highlights how modern relationships are increasingly global, raising an interesting question. Are more people find out compatibility outside their own culture than within it? All right. So we know they're saying what they don't really want to say. All right. That men are searching for genuine relationships, love and affection. And women overseas are looking for, more family oriented in some cases, not all cases, but in most cases. And it's been this shift. Now, do the passport bros have something to do with this? Absolutely, in my opinion. Absolutely. 100%. Okay? We got 66 in the room, guys. Do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button for you guys. All right? And this is the thing, man. On the app, not so much on the Facebook group. And by the way, guys, if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, make sure to sign up for the newsletter. Stay connected. We got a lot of good articles in there about traveling, a lot of travel guides from the newsletter, a lot of tips and everything. Link is in the description. But on the app, you will see guys with their foreign wives, girlfriends, in relationships, happy, okay? And it just is what it is right now. It just is what it is right now. 1.2 million is still, I would say it's not big per se, but it's going to get bigger. That number probably is already triple, in my opinion. It's probably about 3 or 4 because most guys only answer surveys, right? Or they might not be necessarily married, or they might just start talking to the woman. But for the most part, it's going to be more and more. in my opinion. You know what, Atini Brazil, I'm glad you said this. And shout out to you for super chat, man. I really appreciate that. I was just speaking on this. I was literally just speaking on it this morning with my guy in Rio right now. Because I was telling him, I said, man, Brazil, South America is definitely changing. The tourist areas are definitely inflating the prices right now. Okay, this is definitely a good time to be looking into some properties, especially in South America and the Caribbean. But shout out to you, man. Appreciate 20 million pesos. I know you out there in, I think you're out there in Colombia, right? He says, time for passport holders to elevate more than info. We need properties. With 31,000 subs, get 36 subs, contribute 1,200 monthly a year. Was that 36K monthly at 432,000 a year? Time to level up and build clubs, bars, and apartments, etc. Now the question is, that's a great comment, by the way. Appreciate that. But the question is, where? Where? All right, that would be the question. Where do we see this at? Right, where do we start? Do we start in the Dominican Republic? Do we start, Thailand? Do we start in Rio? Right? Do we start in Colombia? Oh, by the way, shout out to my man Uncle John. I'm going to have him on my Money Monday show tomorrow at 8:30. Guys, make sure to tune in for that. All right, I'm going to have him on there. He just opened up a Sky Roof bar in Cartagena. So make sure to stay tuned for that one tomorrow evening, 8:30 East Coast time. All right, it's 8:30 p.m. East Coast time, man. We're going to discuss him and his bar, over there in Cartagena as well, man. And we got a couple of restaurants out here in Thailand, too, that just opened up. Shout out to my man, Brandon. He just opened up a spot, Culture in Bangkok. And I forgot the name of the other spot they just opened up in Bangkok as well. I want to say it's called Azure, but I don't want to get the name wrong. Shout out to them as well. All right. So guys are opening up businesses for sure. You say 1.2 million is a small number. Shout out to you, Iman Berry. Salute, salute, salute. All right. So once again, I'm going to use one more time. The trend highlights how modern relationships are increasingly global, raising an interesting question. Are more people... Also, Tina, I want you to answer that too. Or you guys can answer in the comment section. All right. What do you think is a good country to start to buy commercial real estate and properties at right now in 2026? All right. Somebody said, BMT with the ball here. You know, I've been bald since I was 23 years old, bro. 24, 23, something like that. All right. Once again, the trend highlights how modern relationships are increasingly global, raising an interesting question. Are more people finding compatibility outside their own culture than within? All right. And shout out once again for the super chat. Shout out to you, bro. You know, man, I wish we could, and I think we have the power to be able to raise funds, but it's all about execution, man. You know, I look at Jay Real Estate and how he kind of bombed on the Black Wall Street Tulsa Fund, and I just truly believe it's just the fact that he didn't have the right team in place. I think that sometimes guys try to do a little too much, try to stretch themselves thin. When it comes to, looking at properties to invest in, you need somebody that's going to manage the money properly. All right. It's a lot, and I feel like Jay just didn't have the right team in place in order to pick the right properties. Then for some reason he stopped raising it. I don't think he had enough money to do what he set out to do as well. I think he fell short by not raising enough money. All right. Not raising enough money and not having the proper team in place. So when it comes to like raising money to buy commercial properties, you got to really, really know what you're doing overseas. You got to have those connections. You got to have the right connections, and you definitely want somebody that's in tune with, the laws of land, because I've seen it go wrong many times before. All right. You know what, Azrael? You gotta look up with my man Zoo out there in Brazil. If you're gonna be in Brazil next week, I don't know what city you're gonna be in, man, but you guys should definitely link up. Somebody say, "I think Jay was just a scammer." I don't think he intended to scam the Tulsa real estate. I think it was. I think he wanted to profit off of it for sure, but I don't think his intention was to scam it. I just think he's a little bit over his head, and he blew through too much money, and his admin fees were too high too. He didn't raise enough money. One, he didn't raise enough money. Two, he took too much money out the pot trying to live a certain lifestyle. Three, he didn't have a team in place. Okay, you gotta have a team in place, accountants, all that. He didn't anticipate a lot of fees that comes along with having that type of fund. And four, I mean, not to put anything on, somebody's marriage partner, but his marriage partner, she's on Country Wayne skits every goddamn day doing skits, when she should be supporting her husband on, doing this big, massive project. She was too busy with these Country Wayne skits. But anyway, let me go back to the show. Somebody said, I remember Scott talking about Venezuela before. He was big on the coastal developments, being the next wave between that, Belize, and the Caribbean. There's a lot of untapped potential. Yeah, it really is. Just the thing about having a network, though, we can market to the community. We don't necessarily even got to market. We already have a community, right? We just got to put the word out. It's really about finding a location. That's why I said the Caribbean is definitely good. Venezuela has a lot of beautiful islands, bro. They got some of the most beautiful islands, and it's closer to the states than Colombia. So I would think Venezuela would be a good location if you can get it safe. But keep in mind, you got a lot of local politics at play in some of these countries. All right, a lot of guerrilla groups. So don't go out there just trying to buy land. I've seen that happen as well. All right, I've seen land deeds get tore up by, individuals out there in South America. So you just gotta know what you're doing, man. Somebody said that passport saving lives. It really is. What up, Kevin Johnson? No, we're just discussing the 1.2 million guys that are dating foreign right now. I believe it's way more than 1.2 person. I think it's close to at least 3 million, in my opinion. So just imagine brothers having enclaves around South America. You know what? That was always the plan. That was, and it's doable because I've seen other ethnic groups do it. All right, I've seen them do it. But this the thing, man. You got to have brothers, like a foundation of guys that's willing to invest money, but there also has to be trust there. Because if you hire a team in place that's going to be boots on the ground, that's going to, get connections, leverage their connections, they're not going to want to be blasted by, people on social media being scammers and accused of all this while they're in the building process. So the trust has to be there. The respect has to be there. All right. You got to invest in guys that know what they're doing. And you got to just, like I said, invest in the right location as well. We got the power, we got the resources, and we have the network. But it's about building trust amongst each other, right? But that would be dope. That would be dope, even if it started small. There's nothing wrong with starting small. The most powerful military in the world started with 12 men in the United States, right? The Marine Corps, which is probably one of the most powerful arms of the United States military. Shout out to my Marines. All right, that started with 12 men. So you can start small. You can start with one investment property and build on top of the others. Somebody say it's way more popular than y'all think. I hear guys in the gym talking about it. Even some of my friends do. What are you talking about? You talking about investing in properties overseas, or you talking about dating, Cortez? All right, cool. So I think gonna be extra lonely. I don't know if American women ever gonna be lonely, bro. We have a simp culture in the United States. I know you people want to think it's gonna be gloom and doom, but let me tell you something, man. There are a large pool of men that will always be in America that'll be simps, bro. Trust me. There are always guys that are willing to take care of ready-made families. There are going to be always guys who will be willing to take care of a bill or two. Okay? I mean, it is what it is. Somebody said, I think that was what Akon was proposing. A lot of Silicon Valley crowd are buying up land in Africa, allegedly. Yeah, I heard they bought a lot of land in Kenya. You think the government would send spies? I don't know if the government would be concerned about brothers building overseas like that. I'm not. I don't think they would care. Yeah. A woman over a 7. Hell, they don't even got to be over a 7 now. They got a little roster for guys. That's why they be so tricky about the passport rules. Because it lessens their available pool of men to manipulate. And you know what's crazy to me? So I was trying to find this article before I did the show, but I couldn't find this article. It was some major publication. It's a fresh article, and they was talking about the passport rules. They're talking about the imbalance of finance. Basically, they were saying that the men from Western countries make more money than the foreign women, but men in general make more money than women in the United States as well. All right, there are almost no countries where women make more money than the men like that, unless it's through divorce. Let's just keep it about 50. Okay, so that whole it's imbalanced because the American man is going to leverage his finances over her because he makes more money. Like, well, the American men make more money than the women in America too. All right. My man said, women who are 2-3s have rosters of men who are decent. I see it all the time. Yeah, for sure, man. Bro, you can get a woman that's 450 pounds on Instagram and she'll have 200,000 followers in the OnlyFans page. Right? But guys, we've been at it for almost an hour now. I'm gonna keep this show short. All right. Make sure everybody tune in to Money Mondays tomorrow. We had a legendary Money Monday a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna try to do them weekly. We're gonna be talking about entrepreneurship and opening up a business in Colombia. My man Uncle John, who just opened up a Sky Roof Bar in Cartagena. All right. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Peace.